Listen carefully. The spiritual warfare in your life has not been random. It has not been some strange punishment or bad luck. No, the battles you have faced, the emotional storms, the mental exhaustion, the betrayals, the isolation, the silent nights of crying when no one knew, all of it has a reason. You were not imagining it. You were not weak. You were under attack because your purpose is huge. Your destiny is uncommon. What you carry is dangerous to darkness. This is why it has felt like everything around you has been shaken. This is why you've felt the weight in your soul. Because the size of your calling has provoked an invisible war. Most people around you don't understand what you are going through. They look at your life and see normal problems. But you know, deep inside, these are not normal problems. The resistance you have felt has been supernatural. You've sensed it when you walked into certain rooms. You've felt it when you tried to step forward with your purpose. Every time you wanted to rise, something pushed you back. Every time you thought you could finally breathe, a new weight fell on your chest. But listen, this is the ancient pattern of every chosen one. Before the breakthrough comes the battle. Before the promotion comes the pain. Before the calling manifests comes the crushing. You may have wondered, why does it seem like everything I touch is delayed? Why are people betraying me for no reason? Why do I feel blocked at every turn? It's because the enemy knows what you are about to become. He has seen the blueprint of your destiny. He knows the potential you haven't even discovered in yourself yet. And his only job is to make sure you break before you reach it. That's why you've been under such heavy spiritual fire. Because the darkness knows that when you finally step into the fullness of who you are, you will break chains, not just for yourself, but for others. Your light will free many. Your story will heal many. And that is terrifying to the kingdom of darkness. The attacks in your mind have been the worst. Thoughts you didn't invite. Fears that grew louder than your faith. Doubts that crushed your confidence. Those weren't just from you. That was warfare, designed to make you self-destruct before your time. Designed to make you sabotage your own destiny. Designed to make you walk away just when the breakthrough was about to appear. But you didn't quit. You didn't walk away. You stayed. And that is why your victory is inevitable. You see, the reason why you were fought so hard is because what is in you is rare. You are not ordinary. You were sent into this world with something valuable. Your words carry weight. Your vision is sacred. Your heart is dangerous to the agenda of darkness. And you'd probably sensed this from a young age. You knew deep down that you were different. That something in you didn't fit the system. That your sensitivity, your perception, your strange awareness of things others don't see, was not by mistake. It was God's mark on you. Heaven's stamp on your life. And the enemy saw it too. That's why the attack started early. That's why the trauma came early. Because if he could damage you before you understood who you really were, he could limit your future. But he failed. Because here you are. Still breathing. Still standing. Still reaching. Still awakening. And this makes the darkness panic. You've passed tests that would have crushed others. You've survived seasons that would have broken most people. You've kept your heart soft when bitterness wanted to poison it. You've kept your hope alive when despair tried to drown it. And now, you are closer than ever to the moment that the warfare was designed to prevent. Have you noticed that the attacks have become more intense lately? The weariness, the strange exhaustion, the unexplained tension. This is because you are at the edge of your promotion. The breakthrough is right behind this wall. And darkness knows that when you break through this final layer, you will no longer be stoppable. Your identity will rise. Your clarity will sharpen. Your strength will explode. And this is what the warfare has been about all along. Why the people closest to you have changed. Some left without warning. Some betrayed you without cause. Some suddenly turned cold. This was not personal. This was spiritual. God allowed certain people to walk away because they could not go where you are going. Their presence would have polluted your promise. Their energy would have contaminated your calling. And so the separation came. Painful, yes. Confusing, yes. But necessary. Because the new season you are entering requires clean hands and pure vision. The warfare in your relationships was a divine filter. So that when you rise, the right people will surround you. And the delay, the endless waiting, that was not punishment either. That was protection. God was hiding you while the enemy was looking for you. God was building you in secret while the opposition tried to locate you. Because if you had stepped into your calling too soon, you would not have survived the weight of it. You needed the process. You needed the pain. You needed the crushing. So that when the spotlight comes, you will not crack. You will stand. Even your failures were part of the warfare. Every mistake you made, every door you forced open that shut in your face, it was not wasted. Heaven used it all to prepare you. The shame, the regret, the guilt, it's all being turned into wisdom. You are becoming dangerous to darkness because you've learned what cannot be taught in books. You've learned by fire, by suffering, by endurance. And this is why your purpose is huge. Because now, you carry the authority of experience. You don't speak theory, you speak from survival. And the world is desperate for voices like yours. Do you understand now? The intensity of the warfare was the clearest proof of the size of your assignment. If your life was meant to be small, quiet, easy, you would not have been fought like this. But the fact that you were targeted, marked, hit with storms again and again, means you are carrying something explosive, something heaven intends to release into the earth. And you are almost there, so don't let this final stretch break you. Don't believe the lie that nothing is changing. Everything is changing beneath the surface. The enemy is nervous. That's why the pressure has increased, because he knows, if you cross this line, he loses you forever. You will awaken to the fullness of your power. You will see yourself the way heaven sees you. And when that happens, nothing will ever stop you again. Stay awake, stay strong, stay anchored. The warfare is a signal. The purpose is massive, and you are closer than you've ever been. And now, you stand here, on the edge of everything you've waited for. The battle has been fierce, the warfare brutal, but it was not in vain. All along, you were being prepared, refined, sharpened. You are no longer who you were when this battle started. Something powerful has awakened in you. You feel it even when you try to deny it, an unfamiliar but unstoppable fire inside. Your spirit knows that the season of hiding is ending. The time of revealing is here. And that's why the warfare was so intense. Because what you are carrying is not just for you, it's for nations, for generations, for destinies yet unborn. You may have thought your purpose was small, limited, just enough for your survival. But no, heaven did not invest this much in you for a tiny life. The crushing you went through was not for a small calling. The rejection you faced was not for an ordinary future. The loneliness you endured was not to keep you in the shadows forever. It was to prepare you for a platform that cannot be shaken, a voice that cannot be silenced, an impact that cannot be erased. Your purpose is massive, and it is about to burst forth. This is why, even now, strange things are happening around you. People who never noticed you before are suddenly paying attention. Situations that seemed locked shut are trembling. Opportunities you didn't even ask for are being whispered about behind closed doors. Your name is being mentioned in rooms you haven't entered yet. Destiny is moving. Heaven is arranging. Why? Because the time is now. The warfare was the final warning that the blessing is about to drop. But here's the secret few understand. After the intense warfare comes a moment of quiet. Not because the enemy has given up, but because God is silencing everything so you can hear him clearly. When this quiet arrives, do not be afraid. It is the divine pause before the release, the stillness before the flood, and in that quiet, you will sense instructions, sudden clarity, supernatural downloads. Dreams will increase. Prophetic visions will sharpen. The very voice of God will become unmistakable. Because your next steps cannot be guessed, they must be revealed. The relationships that remain in this season are pure. They have survived the shaking. These people are your tribe for this new chapter. Those who couldn't handle the warfare were removed because they couldn't handle the weight of your blessing. It wasn't rejection. It was divine protection. Now, your circle is small, but strong, pure, ready. You are surrounded by those who will lift, not leech, strengthen, not sabotage. The pruning was necessary. It made room for the real. Even your physical body is preparing. The restlessness you've felt, the unusual fatigue, the strange bursts of energy. This is the tension of a vessel about to be filled. Heaven is enlarging your capacity. Your spirit has outgrown your old life. The discomfort you feel is spiritual expansion. You can't fit in the small places anymore. You can't shrink to please others. You can't pretend to be average. Something divine is pressing inside you, begging to break out.